So it is time for another pair of socks from the 52 Weeks of Socks book. And I have made 3 of these before, so go check out those if you're interested in knitting vlogs or sock knitting videos and those things. So yeah, this time I want to make, I have picked out the pattern already. I want to make Mica, and it is a DK weight sock. And I have had this one sock yarn in stash for such a long time now, and I want to be making something with them. And they are the Lindebol with rami instead of nylon, so they're 100% natural. And rami is like a nettle that they use to make it like nylon, so to make it not like go bad with friction and stuff. And I have bought this on the Handwerkbeurs, which is like a big fair in the Netherlands, and I have 2 of these, and I think it would be really cool to make one with the blue with this as the color work, and then one with this color, and then with the blue as the color work. So I think that would be really pretty. What do you think? I am making them for my boyfriend though, not for myself. And he has very large feet. So I'm gonna be using, like making the biggest size. But then I do wanna go down a needle size because they say that I need to use a 3.25 millimeter needle. And I do have that, so that's not the reason. But this yarn is like a little too light for that, I think. And when I bought it, the woman said I should use a 2.75 millimeter needle for them, but I'm gonna use a 3. And so I'm just gonna do that, and then I'm gonna make the biggest size, and then I'll just see how it goes as I go along. And I'm gonna be making them 2 at a time, and then only for the parts where I have the color work, I will like knit them 1 at a time for a little bit, because then it's like too much going on at the same time. So yeah, I'm just gonna start doing that. I'm about to go work out. That's why I look this way. And here's Minnesota represent. Yeah, I am on the stockinette part. So you do a couple centimeters 2x2 ribbing, and then you do a couple centimeters stockinette. And there's a few things I want to talk about that I've been thinking about. I feel like the yarn is a little thin for 3 millimeter needles. And I feel like maybe the sock is a little big. So I think I'm gonna try it on my boyfriend, see how it looks. And then I am a little nervous because they're socks. I really like them to be really a tight gauge. So they're really like, really sturdy. It's a sturdy fabric. So maybe I'll hold something together for like the heel and the toe, just to make sure that it doesn't, how do you say that? Wear through. Like it just doesn't wear through when he's wearing them. But yeah, and also the yarn, it's really funny. This one is really scratchy, and then this one is pretty soft. So the color matters a lot for that. And yeah, other than that, it's pretty cute to knit on 2 different socks in 2 different colors. The cord is a little too short actually for 2 at a time knitting. So what I might do, after a couple centimeters of stockinette here, I start the color work part. Sorry, it's the morning. That's why my brain is a little not working well. Yeah, so I think then after that, I'll just leave one of them on hold work on just one of them, the color work, and then finish the whole sock and then go back to the other one. I feel like that might be a little quicker, but I wanted to show you my progress, and I'll try them on my boyfriend. They are too big, so I'm gonna frog them and start over. And I have been thinking about either making the smaller size or going down a needle size. And I'm going for a smaller needle size because the yarn is pretty like see-through, like you can see. And like what I said before, I think it's better if the fabric is a little sturdier. So I'm going down from a 3mm needle to my 2.5mm needle. Although these are in the chow goose, so I might start on these and then continue later on a chow goo. So I'll buy a chow goo with 100cm cord, so they'll be long enough for 2 at a time knitting. So yeah, all this work was for nothing, but that's okay. I mean, I was thinking the circumference is 56 stitches, and I was thinking that that's a little big for a DK weight sock. Yeah, and I have showed you the video on fitting it on my boyfriend's foot, but it's definitely too big. So yeah, the fact that it's too big together with that the fabric is a little too holy, I need to rip them out. So it happens too sometimes. So I'm gonna do that. I can take them off right now and frog them. That's a little bit of a shame, but it's okay. So there we go, some live action ripping out. I did a bunch of color work on sock 1. So I put the other one, oops. This is the best sunscreen ever, by the way. It smells so good. This is the other sock. I put it on hold on my other needles. This is 2.25 needles, so I'm not knitting on these. They're just on hold. And I started the color work on the other sock. And as you have seen, I tried them on my boyfriend's foot because I haven't really talked to you since I ripped everything out. But this fits perfectly, which is pretty crazy because I'm knitting on 2.5mm needles now, which is like a regular needle size for fingering weight socks. But this yarn is a little thicker. So the fabric is a little, like the gauge is a little smaller. So it does work out, but it's kind of funny that I'm knitting on 2.5mm needles anyway. But I think the color work looks really good. I think this yarn is really good for color work. And I always struggle with how tight I should have my floats. So a lot of times after I do a whole round, I realize it's too tight, and then I grab the yarn and I feed it through. So I feed it back to have a little more stretch in there. But I think this is a perfect size. And this looks really beautiful, but I think the blue, like the inverse, will be even prettier. So that's really cute. And I'm gonna keep knitting on this today. I have to take the train a bunch for work. So I'm gonna knit on this sock. Hopefully I'll get my Chow needles today. I think tomorrow probably, because I ordered some. Because these aren't great to knit on. I just really, I got a little spoiled from those Chow needles, because the cord is just so much better. This is just always in my way. So I'm gonna knit on this one on the train, and then maybe when I get home, I'll switch them up and do the color work on the other sock. But it's going pretty well, and I think it looks really cute. And it's been incredible weather here. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, you will have seen me knit a little bit yesterday on the beach. Like, it's May and it's beautiful weather, and I swam in the river, and yeah. So the weather is amazing, and it's weird that I'm knitting on these really warm socks, but that's okay. I just finished the heel. I started it on the train. You will have seen a few clips of that. And I did the heel turn, and then I just finished the gusset decreases. They're already finished. They were going quite fast. And one thing that I did is, because in the color work, so this is the like nice side. And then here you will see that there's a jog in the color work. So I want this to be the inside of the foot. And if you follow the same instructions, the heel will be on the same side. So one of the socks will have this on the outside of the foot. So what I did for sock 1 was follow the instructions like backwards kind of. So doing the heel on the front side, that like the side that was supposed to be the front side, and that resulted in me doing the instructions of the heel turn reversed, so wrong side. I hope this makes sense if you're like looking into doing something like that, but to get the same amount of stitches, because I started on the other side, it mattered here what I did, if that makes sense. So I started here, not on the wrong side of the heel flap, I started on the right side. So yeah, I'm gonna do sock 2 the other way around. So I just got in my Chow 2.5mm needles with 100cm cord, and I just started the color work on sock 2. So that will be really pretty. I think this one will be super beautiful with the almost like a little star looking, like night sky with stars. So I really like that color combination. And then for this one, I'll follow the normal instructions, and then they'll match up, like they match how I want them to. And then after I do the gusset decreases on this one, then I'll join them together again and knit them 2 at a time. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I was just explaining to my boyfriend why I like the ChiaoGoo needles so much. So these are the cheaper ones that I have. And look, if you want to knit and you do this, then the cord gets all like that and it gets in your way. So a lot of times while you're knitting, you're like, oh, it's in the way. But then with the ChiaoGoo needles, they never coil up. So if I want to start knitting, I do this, and it's not in my way ever. It never gets like that. It's always good. So I love ChiaoGoo needles. If you haven't tried them already, then I would highly, highly recommend them, especially for magic loop knitting. Yeah, mostly for magic loop knitting, I would say, because that's when your cord will get in your way. So I will just continue working on the color work for sock 2, and you'll see me doing that. We got ourselves some finished gusset decreases while it's currently thunderstorming outside. We had a streak of really, really hot weather, like you've seen in this video when I was knitting on the beach, and now it's finally breaking. It was so humid today, so I'm glad that now it's gonna like break and like be a little more, little less humid. So yeah, I finished the gusset decreases on my second sock, and now the 2 socks are cut up, and because I have my ChiaoGoo cord, I'm gonna join them together again. So here's my second, or the first sock, I guess. I'm gonna join them together again so I can do them 2 at a time, because I am doing the just the foot on both of them. And then there is a little bit, oh, did you hear that thunder? There's just a little bit of color work left right before the toe, and then they're done. My boyfriend is very excited about them and is very excited of the 2 different colors. He said it's exactly how he envisioned them looking like, so he's very happy and I'm happy. I haven't tried them on his feet after like doing any of the heels, but I'll do that later tonight maybe. So yeah, I'm gonna join them together. I'm gonna do this, like they'll be like this on there, if that makes sense, and not like the same side facing, because then it's correct in casting them on. It doesn't matter, that's for my own logic. All right. I have a little bit to go. I'm hoping to finish these today. Yesterday I put them on my boyfriend's feet and figured out how much more I need to do from this marker. That's where I was at that point. And also this morning I finally finished my Dartmoor sweater, so I'm really happy that that winter knit is finally off of the needles. It feels very good. And then maybe today I also finish this project, so then I'll really just have 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, the Thursday top and the Lonely Leftovers vest for my acrylic stash down series. Anyway, so 10 centimeters from here is everything I need more for the sock. Actually 11, but I feel like that 1 centimeter will stretch out. And right now I'm at about 3.5 centimeters. And I need to do, I think I need to do 4.5 until I do the final color work. Like here, but then really short. I should check that in the book. But I'm really close, so just 1 more centimeter and then I'll do the color work, and then I think the toe decreases start like straight away. So this time I will just keep doing the 2 at a time knitting while doing the color work, because it's only for 2 rows. So even if everything gets tangled up after 2 rows, like I can just keep pulling all the yarn and then figure it out after I'm done with those 2 rows. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that tangled mess. Let's check how long I have to do, and then I'm almost finished. Also, I keep wearing this shirt. I really like it. I was actually wearing my camisole number 8 today. My, like, it's like a cable top from My Favorite Things Knitwear. But I was cold, so I kept putting a sweater on, taking it off, sweater on, taking it off. So then I thought, okay, I should just put on a t-shirt. Okay, feeling rambly today. All right.
Did we get on the daisy jar?
Yeah, looks so good. Nice. Look at that. New angle. So I'm off for the gym real soon. It's almost gonna rain, so I want to be at the gym before it starts raining. But they're finished. So yeah, I just finished them. I'm gonna like put them in a little bit of a bath of water to block them. My sock blockers aren't big enough for these, but I'll just put them on the sock blockers anyway and then do a little review. But I wanted to show you what they look like now that they're finished. And these little cute little pieces of yeah, the color work at the bottom. You will have seen the big mess that all my yarn was for a little bit. So it was good that it was only 2 rows. And I just tried them on my boyfriend's feet and they fit well. So that's great. So now let's put them in some water, beat the rain for the gym, and talk to you after that. There they are. They're now on the sock blockers and they're definitely too big. They're still very wet. I actually filmed this little clip before, but there was a lot of static noise, so hopefully this is better. And that is why we have a little bit of a darker situation here. So I hope you will have seen the colors a lot better in the rest of the video, because I filmed everything in the when it wasn't dark. And I want to make sure that this video goes up tomorrow morning, because I want to put out a video every Thursday morning, as you might have noticed. Yeah, I think there's just a few things that I want to talk about. First one is I finished them in about 2 weeks. So I started them on May 9th and I finished them today on the 22nd. So that's about 13 days, so about 2 weeks. So that's really good score. Usually I have a track record of making these videos way too long, like taking way too long to finish these socks. So that's very good. They came out as somewhere between a fingering and a DK weight sock. So they're kind of like a sport weight on 2.5mm needles with a circumference of 56 stitches. So they came out a lot bigger than if you would use a fingering weight yarn. I think the nettle is making it very sturdy and I think it works really well for the color work. I still need to weave in the ends, and that is something that I like to do, is block my knits first and then weave in the ends, so everything has room to go wherever it wants to go. And then one final thing I want to share is that I used exactly half of the yarn that I had. So I could have just made a pair of socks in one color and then I would have been fine. But this also means that I could make myself a pair as well. Maybe a stripy sock, that would be fun. I would not make the same sock again, I don't think. Yeah, I'm a little too burned out. Well, not burned out, that sounds very severe, but I wouldn't want to knit another similar pair of socks. So that's all. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of me, then please consider subscribing, liking this video, and leave a comment if you want to. And if you want to watch more of me, then you can also watch this video that YouTube thinks that you would like. It's especially picked out from the algorithm. You don't have to, you can also just enjoy the rest of your day and do whatever you want to do. And then I'll see you in my next video. Bye!